slide.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right, thank everybody for coming out here today to announce our 2016 Hardrocker signing class. Before I get started, I certainly want to give some thanks out to a lot of people that are involved with this whole process. First of all, I'd like to thank my assistant coaches. These guys work endless hours on the road, away from their homes. The time they spend to make sure that we bring in the right scholar athlete to this program is immeasurable. But even more importantly, I'd like to thank their families, their wives, their children for the time they don't get a chance to see their fathers as they're out doing everything we can to put together the best recruiting class we can each year. I'd like to thank our administration, President Heather Wilson, for all her support to our scholar athletes and certainly our football program, our athletic director, Joel Lucan. I'd also like to give a special thanks out to our compliance coordinator, assistant AD, Jen Random. Behind the scenes, I promise you, she's doing a ton of work that people have no idea that she's doing. I'd like to thank Anita, our secretary, our administrative assistant up front. She keeps everything going for us with our budgets, keeping me in check, and really does a ton of work behind the scenes that makes this all possible. And I'd like to thank Brad Bloom. Brad's done a tremendous job today, making sure with our signing day, live feed all day long, and all the work that Brad's put in. Want to make sure I thank our Hard Rock Club, Nate Brown, Sandy, administrative assistant there, and all the members of the Hard Rock Club and on that board, because really without that, we wouldn't have an opportunity to offer these scholarships. You know, the state of South Dakota is a very unique state in the fact that all scholarships are privately raised, and they've done an absolutely tremendous job on that piece. And I'd certainly like to thank our big boosters, George and Nancy Dunham, Bob and Becky Meeson, and Bob and Judy Brodsky, as well as Larry Simons, and all of them in their contributions to that scholarship fund, and everybody that donates to the Hard Rock Club and makes it possible for us to give these scholarships to these scholar athletes that are coming here. Lastly, and I'm sure I'm missing some people on that piece, I'd like to thank our players for the time that they've spent with these recruits as they come into campus. They're truly our best ambassadors and always put their best foot forward, do a great job of really selling what this place is all about. All right, with that, no further ado, I'd like to announce our 2016 signing class. I'd like to start with a guy that's got a lot of lineage here. Kevin Patak comes to us. He's a slot receiver from Allen, Texas. Great tradition there. But he's got a ton of tradition here at South Dakota School of Mines. His dad was an all-conference quarterback here in the 80s, and I think it's extremely unique to be able to play somewhere that your dad played. Kevin's going to be an electrical engineer for us. Our next recruit, Jared Stangler, comes to us from Willow Creek High School. He's a civil engineering major. Jared's a linebacker. With that, he's also a specialist. He kicks and punts, and we'll be doing both here at the School of Mines. Third recruit is Kyle Thomas. Kyle's a mechanical engineering major for us. He's from Dakota Ridge High School. I got a chance to know Kyle real well through our summer camp program. Came up here. Really excited to have him on campus. Kyle's a mechanical engineering major. Thane Hage comes to us from Cold Strip, Montana. Thane's going to be a dual sport athlete here for us, so he'll also compete with our track team. He's a mechanical engineering major. We had a 2-for-1 with Thane. His sister is also going to come here and be a civil engineer. Adrian Perez comes to us from Phoenix, Arizona. Adrian's a defensive lineman for us and a civil engineer. Brian Acuna comes to us from Houston, Texas. Prior to that, Brian's originally from Nigeria. His dad's an engineer in Nigeria. He's a defensive tackle from Westbury Christian High School and a mechanical engineering major. We're real fortunate this year to get a handful of local recruits, and we always want to make sure we start locally as we start our recruiting process. But Cole Hoggle is right here from St. Thomas More. Cole's a defensive lineman for us and a mechanical engineering major. Grady Grimshaw, also from St. Thomas More. A unique situation with Grady. His dad actually graduated here from the School of Mines. He's local at St. Thomas More, and Grady's going to major in civil engineering. Harris Irwin comes to us from Bishop Kelly High School in Idaho. Very strong high school program in Idaho. Harris is a mining engineering major, and he has the best mullet on the team, that I guarantee you. Michael Retland. Michael comes to us from Aurora, Colorado. Michael will be a computer science major for us. It's going to be a defensive line, outside linebacker, rush end. Brandon Brenner comes to us from Houston, Texas also. He's a mechanical engineering major. Got a chance to meet with Brandon down when we had an outreach program down there with some of our alumni and the president. He attended an event down there, and we're excited to have Brandon on board. Damon Barnes. Damon comes to us from Fond du Lac Junior College. He's originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Damon's an IS pre-med major. Looks like Michael Irvin. Now, we're all getting a little bit older. Michael Irvin is an announcer now, but looking forward to getting the playmaker out here. Darren Schroer. Darren comes to us from North Thurston High School in Washington. That's the same high school as Ben Broker, one of our current players. Darren's a 6'5" tight end mining engineer. Ian Anderson comes to us from a very, very successful high school program, Hamilton High School in Arizona. Ian is a wide receiver and electrical engineering major. Isaiah Manley is a wide receiver for us, comes to us from Mount San Antonio College. Isaiah is a IS pre-med major and plays receiver. Michael Frost comes to us from Shasta College. He's an electrical engineering major, and Michael will be a slot receiver for us. David Mayaka. David joins us this spring. David originally is from North Carolina, came to us from San Jacinto College and plays safety for us. Dominic Jackson, same high school as Michael Retton out in Aurora. D-Jack's going to be an electrical engineering major for us and play cornerback. E.J. DeVoe, Everett Jr. DeVoe, he joined us during the mid-year also. He's an All-American punt returner, cornerback from Siskiyou, originally from Lakewood, Washington, and joined us at the mid-year time. He's an industrial engineering major. Harrison B. Miller from Ironwood Ridge High School in Tucson, Arizona, as a safety. He's an industrial engineering major, and we're really excited to have Harrison on board. Josh Seaton. Josh comes to us from the state of Washington. He's an industrial engineering major. He's a safety. Went to Cascade Christian High School out there. Excited to also have Josh on board. Rafael Arellano. Rafael comes to us from Longpaw, California, and Allen Hancock College. He's a civil engineering major. Trevor O'Hearn. We had several guys with very, very high ACTs, and Trevor's right at the top of that with 34. Trevor's from Thunder Ridge High School and a mechanical engineering major. Zach Sibley, he's from the same high school as Darren Schroer, North Thurston, the one I mentioned that Ben Broker's from. Zach is a safety for us and will major in civil engineering. Brock Lamley joined us this mid-year. Brock's originally from Oklahoma, came to us via Saddleback College, who played in the California JC Championship this year, and Brock's a chemical engineering major. Connor Silveria, he's from the same junior college as Michael. They went to Shasta Junior College in Redding, California, and Connor's an electrical engineering major. Dorian Cowart. Dorian joined us mid-year this year. He's originally from Florida. Came to us via I believe he's Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yep, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Dorian's going to major in industrial engineering. Dylan Wright, big tight end for us from Mesa, Arizona. Dylan's going to be a civil engineering major. Jeremiah Hopkins from Kyle, South Dakota. Jeremiah was part of the GERA program that's ran here on campus. He's going to play quarterback for us. We're very excited to have another South Dakota kid on our roster. Keenan Mahler. Keenan comes to us from Concord, California. Went to Diablo Valley Junior College. He's an offensive lineman and mechanical engineering major. Tucker Severson, again, another local recruit from Douglas High School. Tucker's going to be a computer engineering major, and really excited to have a handful of local kids from the Rapid City area here. Diego Weaver. Diego comes to us from Mission Bay High School in San Diego. He's going to play linebacker for us, and Diego's a civil engineering major. Kevin Gillespie. He comes from Crater High School in Central Point, Oregon. He's an IS pre-med major. Going to play running back for us. Garrett Dace from the same high school, Crater High School in Central Point, Oregon. He's going to major in mechanical engineering. Eric Christopherson, kicker for us from Langford, South Dakota, and he's a mechanical engineering major. That concludes our class. We'll have a handful of recruits as we add here in the next few days. Very, very excited about this class. Really gives us depth into a roster that's already got a lot of time over the last couple of years. So it's a solid class. We feel very, very good about it. Now I want to talk a little bit about our next year's schedule. We're going to announce our 2016 schedule at this time. I guess before I do that, is there any questions I can answer for anybody on our signing class?
Yeah, just talk about, did you go in any certain areas, or was it just kind of across the board type of recruiting?
Well, we always want to recruit the most balanced class we can, but that being said, we have heavy emphasis on defensive backs. You know, it's an area we've been thin. We need to get deeper at the defensive back position. You use those guys a lot, especially all the open formations you're seeing. the use on special teams. We're probably a little heavier on defensive back than we have been in the past. I thought we recruited some very, very good defensive linemen up front. Probably not as many O-linemen as we have in the past, but we're pretty deep at O-line right now. So you kind of push and pull a little bit with your needs, but I thought we got a very well-rounded class.
3 quarterbacks, obviously you got to restock into that. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, what's really unique about the quarterback situation is we got a lot of guys from Pennington County here. You got Jake Sullivan, you've got Donnie Pilato, we signed Tucker Sears from right down the road to Douglas High School, and Jeremiah from Kyle. So I think that's neat. Anytime you can have the local guys pulling the trigger, and we're always going to recruit a handful of quarterbacks, so the best athletes on the field. Sometimes we'll move those guys to different positions, but excited about where we're at with the quarterback position.
Yeah. Talk about, you said you got some, some of the JC guys, college guys. I don't know if I counted 9 of them or something like that.
Yeah, we had a handful. We have some of these guys that come on and fight for a roster spot mid-year, so we're right in that range. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that. Are they here now? Or?
Yeah, we have 4 of them here right now that join us mid-year, so we're certainly looking for those guys to come in and compete right away with that. You try to hit some areas where you have some needs. With us, it's a little bit unique from the transfer standpoint because you got to find the right fit and that right academic fit. And I was really pleased we found a lot of guys that fit that engineering mold. All right, let's talk about our 2016 schedule.
I don't have a slide for it.
Okay, gotcha. So our 2016 schedule, really excited to announce this today, and we'll get this out on our website. Open up September 3rd with a familiar opponent. We'll open up at home against William Jewell College. That'll be a 12 o'clock kickoff, and we ended the season playing William Jewell, so it's been fortunate. We've played them 4 years in a row. We've added 2 more years, so we'll play them at home this year and then back on the road the following year in 2017. We go at Dixie State on September 10th. Dixie State joins the RMAC with us, both of us coming from the GNAC. We'll play Colorado State Pueblo, defending RMAC champions, down at their place on September 17th. And then we come back home September 24th for the 131st time to play for the home state trophy against Black Hills State. October 1st will be M-Day. We'll be playing Adams State at home on M-Day this year. And then our next 2 games on October 18th and October 15th will be on the road against New Mexico Highlands and Colorado Mines. We'll come back home to renew an old rivalry against Chadron State College on October 22nd. And we'll play back-to-back home games the following week against Fort Lewis College at home. Our final road game will be November 5th at Colorado Mesa. And then we'll finish the season up on November 12th at home against Western State. Extremely excited to be joining the RMAC. Regionally, it's a great conference for us. Tremendous football conference from top to bottom. And really a great opportunity to play 11 Division II games. So any questions I can answer for you about our schedule?
Well, you talk about 11 Division II, but you get that non-conference one, and then it's all conference. That's obviously going to be different for you guys. I mean, even when you played the GNAC, you didn't have it. You talk about just the way that's set up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat, and we were fortunate with the way the schedule flipped. That our week 1 was our bye week, the one that was open, so we're able to play a non-league week 1. A lot of the schools will start out in RMAC play, so it's on the board right away. But for us, I just think it's great to have consistent scheduling. The GNAC was a great stop for us for 2 years, but we were still trying to schedule 5 non-league games, and to know we're going to be 2 years out, know that you're going to have 10 league games, and you got to find 1 non-league game. And really the nice thing about the RMAC is our fans, the local people are going to, the Black Hills rivalry has always been going on, but to be able to renew that with Chadron, who's right down the road, and some regional teams, I think is really neat. Great, I appreciate everybody coming out. We're going to go ahead on down to Buffalo Wild Wings for 4:30 for a social down there. Once again, we're extremely excited about this 2016 class, and thanks for everybody's support.